Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a cute little patchwork owl. I did do one of these when I first started painting rocks. I did like a little set and I realized I haven't done one in a very long time. So I thought I'd do one with you guys. So I have a nice looking rock here. Very blessed to be able to find some really cool looking rocks here in Ontario, Canada. I am not going to sketch anything on. I'm going to go right for it with the black paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm just adding a branch real quick. We're going to color it all in, kind of like a coloring book, once I've drawn it all out in black, or sorry, painted it out in black. But yeah, it's going to be kind of like a coloring book sense where we draw it all and fill it in with whatever colors we want. So I'm going to do a little beak and two eyes. They're going to be little round eyes. You'll understand a little bit better as we go along why I call it a patchwork owl, because basically each little portion of the owl is going to be what looks like different types of material. So you can, it's kind of like a quilt, I guess you could say. Where each little part is going to be its own kind of color, its own design, and you do whatever you want with it. So I'm just going to sketch in a simple design. We're not going to go all out with too much detail. It's kind of a do whatever you want with it kind of thing. Just as long as you get the owl and the branch onto your rock, you can do whatever you want from there on out. But I'm just going to show you how I'm going to color mine in, but I'm going to let this black paint dry first. So you can pause it and take a look at the owl and get it drawn onto your stone. I'm going to just show you my first one that I did many years ago. It was about 6 or 7 years ago. And so we're going to do one similar, just different colors, that's all. Now that the black paint is mostly dry around the eyes, I'm going to fill it in with white because I'm going to be using a really light color on the eyes. Anywhere else that you're using a really light color, unless you're using a bright white rock, you're going to want to fill it in with some white acrylic paint so that that color stands out off the rock. My rock is going to darken when I seal it, which means everything's going to darken. So I want to make sure that I prime the areas that are going to be really bright, like the beak, that's going to have an orange on it. So I want to prime that area as well. But like I said, it depends on the color of your stone and it depends on what you're going for. So now that the white is dry, I'm going to add some orange to the beak, and I'll probably have to do a couple of coats of the orange. Now I'm using my fine lining brush right now, but I will be using Martha Stewart sponges and my fine lining brush throughout the entire thing. So if you are unfamiliar with my fine lining brush tutorial, it is below this video. It is in the description area where I give you all my tips and tricks and paint colors and resin tutorial and what kind of resin I use and all of that nitty-gritty stuff. Everything you see in the tutorial will be located in the description below the video. So if you cannot find the description, please make sure you hit the subscribe button to my channel. I noticed in my analytics that a lot of people watch the videos, but they aren't subscribed. So I would love it if you guys would hit that subscribe button and join my rock family. That way you can see all of my videos and learn from every single one. I try to make sure that there's something for you to learn out of every video, if not more than one thing. So little techniques and little hints and tips and tricks and stuff like that. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so. I will love you forever. So I am using my blending brush, which is also going to be located in the description box. That is just a very small brush that I have adjusted on my own to make it easier to blend small areas. I just blended in a little bit of yellow in the center of the beak. Now I'm using a light pearl blue for the eyes now that the white is dry, because his eyes are actually going to be buttons. So the little parts of his body are all patchwork of different materials and textures and colors, and then his eyes are buttons. So that's why I call him my little patchwork owl. So he's going to have little blue pearl buttons. They're like a very, very light blue. If you can hear my children, that's because they are home. It is the third day this week that my youngest has been out of school due to strike action. And my oldest son is also off today because his high school has gone on strike. So it's been very difficult for me to work with my kids home. And so that's why it's been quiet on my end. And it's going to be continuing strike days next week. And the week before this week there was. So it's been really, really hard on me because I work from home, but I can't work from home when my kids are here. So it's been really tough. And I really apologize to you guys who've been waiting and asking, like, when's the next tutorial? You know, I'm thinking about you guys constantly, and I'm wishing that I could get some more out there for you. Unfortunately, my life is in a little bit of turmoil because I don't have consistent days where I can actually work all day. So I've been losing a lot of sleep trying to work at night, and I just appreciate all of you who are still by my side. So thank you so much. So now I've just added some simple green leaves to some areas on the branch. That's totally up to you where you want to put them. If you want to add them, that's completely optional. Now I'm going in with different colors. So you can choose whatever colors you want. I am using like a darker purple. I did outline the area first, and now I'm using a sponge to kind of spread that color out evenly into the wing. I'm going to have to do a couple of coats of that dark purple so that we can't see through it. So I probably should have primed that area as well, but it's the brand of paint that I'm using. It's actually very thin. So I will have to do a couple of purple coats, which is really okay with me. So not only do you get to hear me with my tutorial and complaining about my situation here, but you get to hear my kids. They're wrestling, I believe, right now. I have a 6-year-old who just turned 6 yesterday and a 15-year-old, and the 6-year-old is sometimes winning the battle. He is very, very strong. So that's what we get to be entertained by while I'm painting for you. So if you hear anything, they are not in trouble or on fire. They're wrestling. It's fun to be the mother of boys. So fun. So as you can see, I did put a couple of coats of the dark purple, but I've also kind of lightened and highlighted the inside of his wings with a little bit lighter purple using lavender. So, now they have the dog involved as well. So I'm using a fire coral. It's kind of like I guess you could say a more vibrant peach. This brand anyway is more a vibrant peach. So I'm filling in his feathers around his face using this color. Now I'm going to do just 3 of the feathers in that, and then we're going to add a little bit to it and fancy it up a little bit, because remember, each little section is supposed to remind you of a different type of material. So think about different types of fabrics, whether it's curtains or clothing or your favorite dress or some beautiful textures and designs that you like. You add them all into each of these little sections to make it patchwork. So I'm just going to do like a magenta color, and then it kind of fades out to that fire coral. So we're going to blend in some magenta around the eye, and then I'm going to sponge it out down the feathers. So it just kind of looks like an ombre effect or graduated color change from the magenta to that peach color. So that's what I'm going to do on both sides. And then we're going to do the other section below, which I'm going to use a nice bright cobalt blue. And then I'm going to add some yellow polka dots to them. So we're going to change every little section up just a little bit. I'm letting the wings dry before I work on them. And I'm just adding in little sections of color. And then the fun part is at the end we get to stitch them all together. So that's patchwork. And you can do anything you want. If you want to do like a patchwork raccoon or patchwork puppy, you could do whatever you want. I love owls. I have an owl tattoo that I adore so, so much. And I've just very much loved owls like my whole life. So, yeah, so why not? I have my quiet little owl. I have a painted owl made with paint pens. And now a patchwork owl to share with you guys as well. So hopefully I've done the design easy enough that you guys can duplicate it and then fill it in with your own ideas. But I would love to see what you come up with yours. So definitely share your pictures with me on Facebook at Rachel's Rocks. Also, you can share with me on Pinterest, Rachel's Rocks on Pinterest as well. Or you can email me a photo at rachelsrockscanada@gmail.com. So I am filling in all different colors. I'm going to make like a nice graduated color change on the inside here between his wings. I'm going to go from like a jungle green up to a light mint green. And then we'll go from there. As you can see, I'm going outside of the lines. We're going to have to obviously do some cleanup afterwards because of all the blending and stuff and the different textures and colors that we're using. So I will clean up with a black paint afterwards and my fine lining brush. You know, we will be adding little feet as well a little later. So he's not balancing on his bum. Oh, so I have finally made over 46,000 subscribers, and I am in shock. I look at the numbers daily, and I still cannot believe. I'm just so grateful for all of you who care enough to watch my videos. So I just want to tell you thank you again for each and every one of you who has been there. And I will keep providing as much as I possibly can, especially through the strike season and then the upcoming March break. Lord help me. And I don't drink. I don't drink nearly enough. I should try to drink. Okay, so I put some nice yellow dots on the blue. Once the blue is dry, I put 4 little dots on the buttons because we're going to actually have some thread going from hole to hole on the button. But we're going to let those little holes dry first. Outlining everything, cleaning it up. I'll be adding some little stripes to that bright green area there. And we'll be adding, as soon as everything's dry, you can definitely add your texture or your design. You can do just polka dots, you can do pinstripes, you can do flowers. There's so much that you can do when you're thinking about different types of material. Depending on how you do it, like look at the difference between the light green and the purple. I used a paintbrush on the light green and I used sponges on the purple. So there's a whole different texture going there. You can see a big difference between sponging the paint on and painting it with a paintbrush. But That's what you need. You need textures and colors and different designs everywhere. And you can always add stuff to it. Be creative. You can use crystals. You can try using glitter paint. Just do different things in every little section. And then it's really, really fun. So I'm going to add some clear glitter. It's like just a shell. It kind of makes it look like the shell colored, like a glossy shell. And then I'm going to add a little bit of triple thick just over that to keep that gloss, or yeah, the shine where I want it. I don't want it to travel over onto the wings, for instance. So I'm just going to hold it in place. You can use clear glue. You can use Mod Podge. You can use varnish, like I believe it's called, let me see. I know I have some at my desk, guys. It's a clear varnish it's DuraClear. It's from Americana or Americana, however you pronounce it. And you can get it in matte or you can get it in high gloss. And basically that will hold the glitter in place as well. I keep some of it at my desk all the time just for that reason. For a lot of different reasons. I use it a lot. So I'm cleaning everything up again, making sure everything is outlined properly. Still waiting for the green area to dry, but I'm adding some light lavender stripes. And you can do like checkers, you could do plaid, you could do all sorts of different things. It's looking pretty cool. Now on these little pink areas, I've put some black dots because I'm going to add gold to the top of those dots once they're dry so that they look like little gold studs. Now I'm doing the string, or sorry, thread. I'm not much of a seamstress, let's just say. This is as close as it gets to me putting on buttons. You can use whatever color thread you want. I just used bright red. Oh, the kids are still going at it. So if you guys have made it this far, I love you and I appreciate you. So everything's being outlined. My fingerprints actually show up on the stone, but they'll disappear once I seal it. Some stones really suck up the natural oils that you have in your hands. So, but that doesn't ruin it. As soon as it's sealed, they disappear. So I'm outlining all my leaves. Outlining my branch. We're going to add a little bit of gold to the branch later. Now I'm going to do something I don't normally do, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm adding glitter. So I'm using the triple thick. It's almost like a glue, like I said, like a clear glue. And I'm doing stripes on the wing. And then I'm shaking on some very fine glitter. It's like pinks and purples, so it's super nice. There's even a little bit of teal in there, I believe. So I do one wing at a time, and I'm going to let them dry really, really good and gently sweep all the glitter off once those are dry. And then we are left with glittering pinstripes on his wings, which, you know, you can do whatever you want with every section. So why not add glitter, people? You know me and my glitter. So all I'm going to do is like 6 little toesies hanging over the edge. I'm going to make them a little bit bigger so they look like they're actually hanging on to the branch. And then I'm going to put a little bit of a light color inside there. It's going to be a French blue, but I'm going to let the black dry first. So I haven't used hologram yet in this beautiful rock, so I put some hologram on my leaves so that they're nice and sparkly green once they're dry. And now I'm adding some French blue to his toes. but keeping the black outline as well. It's just easier to do the black first and then do the French blue over top. That way you don't have to try and outline all those little toesies, because that's not fun. It gets messy. So I'm putting a little bit more triple thick over top of my glittering pinstripes to hold that glitter in place. As you know, it's one little tip or trick that you want to keep handy, because or else your glitter's going everywhere, guys. And I'm okay with that, but some people complain. I'll tell you. So I'm fixing up his toesies again. He's cute. I really think he's cute. I did add the gold to the black dots on the pink, so there's little gold studs. I am just outlining my branch with a little fine line of gold. I usually do this if you've seen in other videos where I have branches, because I tend to have branches. And I'm going to do the fun part, which is stitching all of these together. So anything that is attached to another part needs to be stitched together, right? It's a patchwork owl. So we got to stitch it all together. I'm using my fine lining brush and very fine lines of little white stitches, only where everything attaches together, right? Just so everything is attached. What do you think? That's cool. I think it's cool. So I'm using a little bit of glitter. You can use gold eyeshadow too on my branch, just to give it a little gleam, not too much. And I'm going to do some little veins using a darker green on my leaves over top of the hologram now that it's dry. Simple, simple. Nothing too fancy. I'm going to put some triple thick over my branch now to hold that glitter in place. And it's ready to be resined, guys. This is going to look so pretty. The anticipation. My rock has darkened, and you can see all of its beauty magnified by the resin, and the glitter and the stitches and the cuteness is all magnified as well. I hope you guys love this. I want to see your creations. Hit subscribe, hit the share button, and share with your friends and family, just in case it's something they may want to try. I love you. Keep painting, guys. Mwah!